Dollar Benja Sanje
Welcome to everyone. In a few moments, we will have the great blessing of receiving the transmission of the famous Gongma praise to Manjushri from His Holiness the 41st Sakyakoma Trichen Rinpoche.
Receiving the transmission.
This will be followed in 2 hours' time by a wonderful line-by-line explanation of that prayer by His Holiness the 42nd Sakya Trichen Rinpoche.
Followed in 2 hours' time.
Today's transmission and teaching was requested by Venerable Khenpo Khalsang Gyaltsen, abbot of Trichen Kunchapling, which is the seat of the Sakya Doma Podrung in the Americas, located in Walden, New York. Trichen Kunchapling is the host of today's transmission and teaching. My name is Annie Kunga. I'm one of the nuns at that temple. Today's transmission and teachings are being live streamed for a worldwide audience and simultaneously translated into many languages throughout the world through the kind collaboration of Dharma centers and translators around the world. The English preliminary prayers that we're about to recite are posted on Trichen Kunchapling's website, which is sakyatemple.org. The text of the praise to Manjushri is also posted there, so that when His Holiness is giving the transmission, you can follow along. For other languages, please refer to the materials provided by the Dharma centers who are hosting the simultaneous interpretations. Before we begin the preliminary prayers, let's take a moment of silence to try to sincerely develop enlightenment thought in our hearts. Think how incredibly unfortunate that we are to have obtained a precious human birth. How very fortunate to have met the Dharma and to have found a perfect guru. Through the profound blessings that we're about to receive and our own diligent efforts in practice, may we swiftly attain the stage of Manjushri in order to rescue all sentient beings from their suffering. Now we will have a moment of silence to develop enlightenment thought. Now we will begin the preliminary prayers.
Bhagavan Savatagata Bhagavata Samayasa Om Bedha Sadhu Samaya Manubalaya Bedha Sadhu Denava Didatinum Sudhakayo Mebawa Anurado Mebawa Suvakayo Mebawa Siddhi Mebayanta Sa Karma Suzame Tadamshriya Guru Aho Bhagavan Savatagata Bhagavata No, Bedha Sadhu Samaya Manubalaya Bedha Sadhu Dena Mebawa Sudhakayo Mebawa Nurata Mebawa Suvakayo Siddhi Mebayanta Sa Karma Suzame Tadamshriya Guru Om Bhagavan Savatagata Bhagavata Samaya Sato Bedha Sadhu Samaya Manubalaya Bedha Sadhu Diradinu Mebawa Sudhakayo Mebawa Nurata Mebawa Suvakayo Siddhi Mebayanta Sa Karma Suzame Tadamshriya Guru Masamaya Sato Yoti Yodo Doje Samatre Doji Yamare Vade Sala Gurva. So today, the teaching Queen Jabling has requested me to give Manjushri praise, known as the Gongma. It's a transmission or the initiation to worldwide, all our Dharma centers and to all Dharma brothers and sisters that who are participating in this initiation. So first of all, I would like to extend my very warm welcome and warm greetings to everybody who are participating in this. And as the great Indian master Chandrakirti says, that when we have the freedom and when we have all the favorable conditions, if we could not hold this and utilize this in the best way, once if we fall down in lower realms where there's absolutely no freedom, then who can take out of the misery. So likewise, that when we all have precious human life, and not only that, also we have the prerequisite, all the 18 prerequisites, which is very difficult to obtain from many point of view. And also we met the precious Buddha Dharma, which is very, very difficult to meet due to our own great merit and great prayers, great aspiration, that today we met the Buddha Dharma. And also we have the spiritual masters who can guide us and lead us towards the liberation and enlightenment. So when we have such an opportunity, when we have all the necessary favorable conditions, that it is very important to utilize this, and without any delay and without any failures, that we must take the essence out of this precious human life. And now how to take the precious essence out of this precious life is to practice the holy Dharma. And to practice holy Dharma, you need faith with the logical reasons, which means faith with the wisdoms. Because without wisdom, that it is not possible. As Nagajuna's Rana Malla said, that wisdom is the first one, and the second is the faith. So therefore, the wisdom is very important. And generally speaking, that there are three kind of roads, three kind of paths. First one is called the small person's path. And then the small person's path means that the precious human life that which we have now is not permanent. It's going to lose one day. And when we lose this day, it just your body will be disposed in one way or another, but your consciousness, your mind cannot disappear. It will wherever the winds of karma and the defilement that we have to be born again in the samsara. And if we are born in the three lower realms, there is an unimaginable amount of misery and sufferings. And by realizing this, that we wish to continuously to be born in the higher realms, such as the human realm and in Deva's realms. To do that, you need to keep a good moral conduct. Without a good moral conduct, that you cannot get higher realms, higher realms. You cannot be born in the higher realms. So therefore, you need the good moral conduct. To be able to keep the good moral conduct depends on the wisdom. Without wisdom, you can't. So therefore, it is for small person's path, because your goal is still within the samsara, but not in the lower realm, due to the fear of to be born in the lower realms, that you wish to be born in the higher realms. So therefore, it is called small person's path, because your goal is still within the samsara and it's very small. And then second one is called the middle person's path. And that is who realize not only there's an unimaginable amount of sufferings in the lower realms, but even in the higher realms, seemingly appearance, there's a mixture of happiness, of joy, and sufferings. But in reality, there's no real joy. It's all still suffering. It's another kind of suffering, another form of suffering. So who realize the entire samsara as just like a pile of fire, no matter where you're born, either in lower realm or in the higher realm, that as long as you are in the samsara, it is a suffering. And so one who wishes to seek nirvana for yourself, and to do that, the cause of the suffering is the defilement. Defilement, that the cause of the suffering has two, actually karma and the defilement. And the karma alone could not take us into the samsara. So the main cause is the defilement. And that the root of the defilement is called the self-clinging, the ignorance of not realizing the selflessness, and that cling as a self is the ignorance. And so to free from suffering, samsara, you need the wisdom that goes directly against the self-clinging thought. You need the wisdom that realizes the selflessness. And so with that, you can cut the root of the samsara, and then you are free from the samsara. And so therefore, to be able to do that, also that you need the wisdom. Wisdom is very important. And then the third one is the great person's path. Great person's path, generally speaking, that we believe in rebirth. This is not the only life. we had innumerable lives. From beginningless time, there's no time such as beginning. From the beginningless time that we are born here. And since we have the previous life, that we have always born in different place, different parents, different families, different race, and so on. So therefore, every sending being is related to us. Every sending being is our mother. We must realize every sending being is our mother. We must remember their kindness. We must pay back their kindness and the love and compassion, etc. Due to this, then with the great aspiration is to attain the enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And so for that, you need the true wishing enlightenment mind and entering enlightenment mind. Wishing enlightenment mind means to wish to attain the enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And entering enlightenment mind means that in order to attain enlightenment, that you will follow the bodhisattva's way of life, such as like the ripening one's own mental continuum, the 6 paramitas, 6 perfections, and so on. So this kind of cause and condition, cause and result link, that the bodhicitta, the precious bodhicitta, also depends on the wisdom. So whichever path you wanted to follow, the small, medium, or the great, the wisdom is very important. And especially the bodhisattva's path, wisdom, the bodhisattva's main path is the 6 perfections: generosity, moral conduct, patience, endeavor, meditation, and wisdom. And the wisdom, without wisdom, it does not become perfections. Without wisdom, if you practice generosity, it is just ordinary generosity. It's not the perfection of generosity. Similarly, the moral conduct and patience, and there's also, so everything have to meet, everything have to linked with the wisdom. Without wisdom, it is like a blind people to lead. You need the one person with the eyes. With the person with the eyes can lead the blind persons to the right path. Similarly, with the wisdom, then it becomes perfections. Perfection means that the direct cause of enlightenment. And with the wisdom, then it becomes perfections. Perfection means that whatever practice we do, it becomes the direct cause to attain the enlightenment. So therefore, wisdom is absolutely, wisdom is very, very important. And as it is said in the Shanti Devas, all the branches, which means the other practices, main purpose is for the sake of wisdom. So therefore, those who wish to overcome the suffering, that they should generate or create the wisdom. And especially those who are following Vajrayana path. The Vajrayana path is with the 4 specialties greater than the general path. And one of the specialties, it is meant for the intelligent beings, for the intelligent people. And it is very sealed with many things. So it is for the ordinary people very difficult to comprehend its profound meanings. So therefore, wisdom is very, very important. So in any case, the Ayadeva has said that all the visible and invisible quality, the root is the wisdom. Visible means the things that we see now, things that which we have now. And invisible means things that we don't see, that we need to depend on the logical reasons and quotations and so on. So therefore, all of this also depends on the wisdom. Wisdom is very, very important. And this wisdom, although the seed, we all have the seed, but to awaken this seed, for example, the seed to grow on the field, you need the necessary conditions, such as like fertilizers, right moistures, right temperature, etc. So similarly, to awaken this seed, that one needs to depend on the deities, wisdom deities. And there are many wisdom deities from the 4 classes of Tantra. 4 classes of Tantra describes many different wisdom deities, but in India as well as in Tibet, the most well-known wisdom deity is like sun and moon is like Manjushri and Goddess Saraswati. And this time it is with Manjushri. Manjushri is the manifestation of all the past, present, and future Buddha's wisdom. And it has many different practices, sometimes as a main deity of the mandala, sometimes as the surrounding deities of the mandala, and then also method. There are many different mantras and methods and many different things. But this time, it is the Gongma, Manjushri's praise initiation. And so the history of this is that ancient time, that in India, the most important Buddhist learning center, the Great Wind University, is there are several of them, but one of the most important and one of the most famous one is the Nalanda Bihara, Nalanda Institute. And there was abbot who is Pandit and whose name is Dorje Töncha. In Tibetan is called Dorje Töncha. When he was as an abbot of the monastery, they made a Manjushri temple, new Manjushri temple. And then on the eve of the opening of the temple, the temple gave the order to the 500 pandits that tonight all of you to write Manjushri's praise to Manjushri. You go back to your own rooms and then you write praise to Manjushri. And then as Campbell gave the order, that all the pandit individuals went to their own rooms and tried to write praise to Manjushri. And So actually, they were not together. They did not had a talk. They did not have talk. They wrote individually into their own rooms. So it should be the 500 different praises of Manjushri. But when they collected, everybody wrote the same words, same wording, same one, that this is called the Kangloma. This couldn't happen generally unless it is Manjushri's blessings, that everybody wrote exactly the same wording and same word. All the 500 bandits wrote the same thing. And so this is very, very different, very surprised and very, very special. So the Khenpo realized that it is all due to the blessings of the Manjushri. So the Khenpo gave the title, and it's called Yuanden Sangpo. Yuanden Sangpo means Gunabhatra, means good quality. So, and so then it is very, very famous in India and also in Tibet, in all the different schools. Every monastery, there's another monastery that who does not recite this prayer. And also, not only in the monasteries, even in lay followers. Although in Tibet all Tibet does not have a big schools, but there are some individual schools, and in the lay peoples also, it is a very popular prayer. Almost every student recite Dhamma. So therefore, this is very, very important. Prayer, and so it has its own special transmission, blessing transmission according to the Kriya Tantra. As there are 4 classes of Tantra: the Kriya Tantra, Chaya Tantra, Yoga Tantra, and Anuttara Yoga Tantra. So this is according to the Kriya Tantra, which is the very basic Tantra. And so in this, there's no real self-creation, not real. We take the blessing as just like receiving the CDs from your boss, now from your boss. And so to get the blessings, you have to please the boss, and then the boss will please and then give you your grant all your wishes. So similarly, here on the mandala, we create the Manjushri and offer the offerings, recite the praises, and request to bestow the cities, and then made the Dhamma offerings. And so now for the disciples to receive, the very first thing is to create the right motivation. The why we are receiving this initiation is that we must attain the full enlightenment, as we are Buddhists in general, and especially Mahayanas. Mahayanas means who are committed to attain the full enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So the purpose of receiving this initiation is also to attain the full enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. And in order to attain enlightenment, that you are receiving this initiation. And after receiving this initiation, that one will very diligently follow the path. And with such a right motivation, with the right conduct, physically sitting in this respectful form, and verbally in silence, mentally concentrating on each and every word of the teachings. With that, then the very first thing is to make the mental offering by imagining the Guru as a Manjushri, and then request to bestow the initiation. To you make the mental offering in order to request to bestow the initiation, followed by request lines. Request lines. No, no, get that and your business. You don't do to Jalana Majiva Yandava Sangi. Rinpoche ne jatung yabar jawati jedo jesu nawa sama sana to sushin de nyamsu lawan jo. Nyamba samba chaji ki chodo tu kyaba le wasadam ne sambar nawa shu tela de kaan sambar chewe che. Hala me te chula tenen chabayan ki jesu nawa dhubara thoma lukyu chonsi ji nyana ngundu su pa nalan je chola khanda. Yenji dan doji chunji kempo cheji tenpa chonwe tunda ne de chabayan ki hagashi. Sabdo Shambhala Sanye Ramne Shasu De Ju Numo Kempe Bindi Dangajala Sanye Jamayangi Tobar Samla Kesho Sumbana Tinde Bindi Dandamji Kempe Kashi Sosu Jamela Tobar Tamde Puana Tamji Chota Batar Toba Dikhana Shunga Jamani Singela de Sumbra Ichi Toba Yanda Sambushi Kempe Niji Senjam Tamne Chilo Shindu Chewa Chabada Jesu Jevi Jesu Nawan Jubar Cheju Rangangu the Dingy Sumbitan, the Sake, the Tela Church and Mutusho, Tomambua, Nango, Son, the Jaranam, the Juva, Toma Lower, Jabea, Sumera, and the Janasam, Joy, and the Midi, Medeshibu, Oraju. Roma Karama Dulma Medoma Tijamani Rinpoche Do Cholena Vrajave Presentava Madava Nevadi Dusuzanye Tume Bade Lama Tambe Shangane Jena Samashive Tadalme Depune Soa de Vadijan de Tusum Sanje, Tamje Tang, Haber Hai, Goni, Bade Lame, Tadinji, Dala Jena, Taduso, Tusum Sanje, Tamje Ji, Tamje Tang, Haber Hai, Goni, Bade Lame, Tadinji, Dala Jena, Taduso, Tusum Sanje, Tamje Tang, Haber Ngoni, Bandelame, Kedinji, Dala Jena, Taduso. Now, in order to purify all our negative deeds, then you should visualize in front of you Manjushri surrounded with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Manjushri with the one face, two hands. Right hand is holding the wisdom sword. Left hand is holding the root of the flower. Root of the flower, and the flower blossoms on the left hand, left ear. Well, when the flower has the book of the Pachaparamita, the perfection of wisdom book, and adorned with the ornaments and the jewels, sitting in full Vajrasana position. Surrounded with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then in front of this yourself with all the sentient beings of the six realms, performing the sevenfold prayer. Sevenfold prayer, there are many different kinds, but this is according to the Vajrayana. Sevenfold prayer. The sevenfold prayer, number one, is to confess all the negative deeds that we have committed from the beginningless time until now due to excess, defilements, carelessness, and disrespectful and so on. That we confess with the full remorse. Remorse as strong as one have taken the poison by mistake, with the full remorse that we confess. Second is to rejoice all the virtuous deeds, starting from Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Shavakas, Pratyaga Buddhas, etc., those who are already in the Nirvana, and then those who are in the samsara, including yourself, whatever virtuous deeds that we have accumulated, that we must rejoice, we must support without any kind of jealousy, pride, or competition thoughts. And then third one is to hold the absolute bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, there are two kinds, relative bodhicitta and absolute bodhicitta. This is the absolute bodhicitta, means the ultimate nature, the ultimate truth of all phenomena. And that is away from shunyata, away from all extremes, such as like existing, non-existing, both and neither, away from all perceptions, all descriptions, all explanations of such truth that is have to realize through the meditation. But at this point, we make a vow to meditate on such a bodhicitta, such truth. So this is called the holding the absolute bodhicitta. And then fourth one is to take refuge from this moment until enlightenment reach, that we take refuge in the Buddha as our guide, Dharma as our actual path, and Sangha as our companion. For example, if you need to go to an unknown place, the first thing you need require then is that you need the guide who can show you the right path. So similarly here, that we need to depend on the Buddha as our guide, that we take refuge in the Buddha as our guide to show us the path of liberation and enlightenment. And then after having the guide, we have to follow the guide's line and have to go ourselves on the path. So the actual path is the Dharma. We have to practice as Buddha has shown us the path. So we have to follow ourselves. We have to study and first to understand the teachings and then to contemplate again and again and try to adjust, try to digest the thing, and then thirdly that we meditate, and through the meditation that we change our defilement mind into the positive mind and then proceed path to the enlightenment. So the Dharma is the actual path, and Sangha as our companions. When you are going to unknown destination, that instead of traveling yourself, if you have a companions, the trusted companions, then it's very helpful. So similarly, that we take refuge in the Sangha, the Bodhisattvas, as our companions. Then fifth one is relative bodhicitta. The relative bodhicitta has two kinds, the wishing bodhicitta and entering bodhicitta. Wishing bodhicitta means wish to attain the full enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. And so this wishing bodhicitta, we make it as a vow in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then you have created the wishing bodhicitta. And then sixth one is the entering bodhicitta. Entering bodhicitta means after creating the wishing enlightenment mind, that then to follow the Bodhisattva's way of life, such as in order to ripening your own mental continuum, the six perfections, and in order to ripening to the others is the four collection things, practices, etc. These that are called the entering bodhicitta, and that if we make it as a vow in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then it becomes you are creating the entering enlightenment mind. So this is the sixth one, and then seventh one is to dedicate the merit that confessing, rejoicing, generating the bodhicitta, taking the refuge, etc. Through which we can earn enormous amount of merit. So these we dedicate to attain the full enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. So this is the dedication. And when you dedicate, then it could not be wasted. It could not be destroyed by the strong opposition thoughts, such as love, anger, cannot destroy. And instead, it keeps increasing its virtues or its merits. So with that you repeat after me the sevenfold prayer. Yu Tama Chayala, the Dun Jamaya, and the Sanya, the Solution, the Tojuko with Changa, Kinsha Chanya, Medijan, the Lensum, the Kunjo Sumla, Dajepsi, Digwatamje, Sosorsha, Doe Gela, Jayrang, Sanje Chanju, Yiji Sung, Sanje Chodang, Chojola, Chanju Bado, Tausuche, Rasin Tene, Rabducher, Chanju Semne, Kyabarji, Chanju Choge, Semne Kegine, Simjan Tamje, Dagi Dondanyar, Chanju Chosho, Yon Chabarji, Dola Pincher, Sangye Dobersho, Kunjo Sumla, Tajivchi, Diwatamje, Sososha, Doekela, Jerang, Sangye Chanju, Yi Sung, Sangye Chodang, Chojola, Chanju Bado, Tepsuse, Rasin Tene, Reducer, Chanju Sene, Debarji, Chanju Choge, Semne Kegine, Simjan Tamje, Dag Dondanyar, Chanju Chosho, Yon Jabarji, Tolavinje, Sanye Dovasho, Kunja Sumla, Dajipsi, Diwatamje, Tsosursa, Doegala, Jairam, Sanje Chanju, Yi Jisung, Sanje Chodang, Tojola, Chanju Bado, Gyasuche, Rasentene, Rabducher, Chanju Semne, Debarji, Chanju Shoge, Semne Kegine, Simjan Tamje, Dagi Dondanyar, Chanju Jisho, Yon Jabarji, Dola Pincher, Sangye Drubar Show. So by reciting this, that you receive the refuge vow, and then you also receive the bodhisattva vow. So this is very important. And also it purifies the negative deeds and accumulates the great merits. So this is very important. So with that, we completed the preliminary part of the initiation. Now for the main part of the initiation, that the Manjushri is just right in front of you here in the mandala. And we generate a strong devotion to Manjushri and request him to bestow the body, voice, and mind blessing. So with that you repeat after me these request lines. And then dungi jambala mugu shebi kenji tuju kune kusung toji singe lab to sol nyambe di jendu lansum tu zenden kyoji cherabe seki dalu timu mimbarab sane katan tenju shunglu tongbayi lodo bobe nawa zadu so zenden kyoji cherabe seki dalu timu mimbarab sane katan tenju shunglu tongbayi lodo bobe nawa zadu so zenden kyoji cherabe seki dalu timu mimbarab sane katan tenju shunglu tongbayi lodo bobe nawa zadu so. So you made the request, and then yourself, you don't visualize yourself as Manjushri, but you just remember vaguely that you are a Manjushri with the one face, two hands, but there's no detailed kind of visualizations, but you vaguely that you think that you are Manjushri with the wisdom sword and Buddhika, or the text, wisdom text, and then from the Manjushri, who is full visual, full image, from his heart, the praises of the Manjushri, along with the mantra, with much lightness issues out, and came right on top of your head, and goes down and fills your body with the light rays, and this will one will obtain great and auspicious and complete wisdoms. So with that you repeat after me the praise of Kangloma, which we are talking about, the 500 Prenditas wrote, but everyone wrote it, the same one. This is the praise. Kiranam Sheswata, Kiranam Jabashi, Chanyu, Rati, the Poditimba, handsome to Tunji Jabaji, Tugan, Tabanga, the Jabba, second number to Kiranam, Joe and the Marshu, Lord Fusun Tabo, Kurasan, DJ and the Hungry Lord Jimmy Jinta, Nidaranamda, Rapsave, Shinyi Tungun, Shishin Sishir, Niji Tugar, Lebamzin, Kanda Sibe, Chora, Mari Mintum, Dungar Chisire, Tozo Guna, Puji Darze, Yala Tuju, Yanden Song, Rudar Shirdo, Nyomo Nilong, Lady Jato, Rosejin, Marie Minsir, Dungan Yugu, Shinyi Jose, Radinam, Dene Tazi, Soji Tasu, Yende Luzo, Jase Tugu, Chuda Chuda, Chuni Jende, Dalu Minse, Jambayang Ladu, Hungry Lodger, Jimmy Ginger, Nida Nanda, Rapsare, Shinyi Tungu, Shishin Siji, Niji Tugar, Lewamzin, Handa Sibe, Tora Marie, Mintum, Dungar Kisire, Rozo Guna, Puji Darze, Yala Tuju, Yanden Song, Rudar Shirdo, Nyomo Nilong, Lady Jado, Rosejin, Marie Minsir, Dungan Yugu, Shinyi Jeze, Radinam, Dene Tajin, Soju Tasu, Yende Luzo, Jase Tugu, Chuda Chuda, Chuni Gente, Dalu Minse, Jambayang Ladu, Hungry Lodger, Jimmy Jinda, Nida Nanda, Rapsave, Shinyi Tungun, Jishin Sijir, Niji Tugar, Lewamzin, Tanda Sibe, Chora, Mari Mintum, Dunga Kisirve, Tozo Guna, Puji Daze, Yala Tuju, Yanden Song, Rudar Shirdo, Nyomo Nilong, Lady Jato, Rosejin, Marie Minse, Dungan Yugu, Shinyi Jeze, Radinam, Dene Tajin, Soju Tasu, Yende Luzo, Jansu Tugu, Chuda Chuda, Chuni Yende, Dalu Minse, Jambayang Ladu. Then from the Manjushri's heart, see the syllable D, and from this many mantra rosaries issues out, and absorb to your heart with also the syllable D in your heart, and it absorbs to that, and with this that you receive all the blessings. So with this visualization, that you repeat after me the Manjushri's mantra 21 times. Dunji juzim ji tuge di lenga den shung chara nam ji ningar di kwa bala timbe du shingi labi memen nga di jendu le niji zebar shu om arapatanadi 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 Omara Batanade, 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 Omara Batanade. So this we have to do 3 times. So again, first you request to bestow the blessings. So you repeat after me these lines. Tenden Keji, Kerabe Sergi, Talu Timu, Mimbarab Sane, Gadan Tenju, Shunglu Dobai, Lodu Bove, Nawataduso, Tenden Keji, Kerabe Sergi, Talu Timu, Mimbarab Sane, Gadan Tenju, Shunglu Dobai, Lodu Bove, Nawataduso, Tenden Keji, Kerabe Sergi, Talu Timu, Mimbarab Sane, Gadan Tenju, Shunglu Dobai, Lodu Bove, Nawataduso. Then you just vaguely remember that yourself as Manjushri, and then from the Manjushri's heart, at the praises of the Manjushri along with the light rays and mantra issues out and came right on top of your head and enters into your body, and the whole body filled with the light, and you gain all the wisdom. So with that you repeat after me these praises. Kyabgon Shan Jamba Shiji Shanyi Barati the Buddhi Timba Temba Tam to Dingi Jamba Jituga the Debangata the Java, Rather Java, Surgeon number 2 Charanam Jijo and the Marashu Lord Pusuta Vekurasan, Daisy and the Hungry Lord Jimmy Ginger, Nida Nanda, Rapsave, Shinyi Tungu, Shishin Seizure. Niji Tugar, Lewamzin, Kanda Sibe, Jorar, Mari Mintum, Dunga Chisrive, Rozo Gwela, Puji Daze, Yala Tuju, Yandensung, Rudar Childro, Nyomo Nilo, Lady Jado, Rotejin, Mari Muse, Dunga Nyugo, Shinyi Jose, Rajinam, Dona Taji, Soju Tasu, Yenen Lizo, Jasatugu, Chuda Chuda, Juni Jende, Dalu Mise, Jambeya Ladu, Hangi Lodu, Jimni Jinja, Nida Nanda, Rapsave, Shinyi Tungu, Shisin Shijir, Niji Tugar, Lewamzi, Kanda Sibe, Jorar, Mari Mintum, Dunga Chisebe, Rozo Gwela, Puji Dabze, Yala Tuju, Yandensung, Rudar Shedro, Nyomo Nilong, Lady Jado, Rozejin, Mari Minse, Dunga Nyugu, Shinyi Jose, Rajinam, Dene Taji, Saju Tasa, Yone Luzo, Jase Tugu, Juda Juda, Juni Jende, Dalu Minse, Jambe Yaladu, Hangi Tudu, Jimmy Jinda, Nida Nanda, Rapsave, Shinyi Tungu, Shishin Sijir, Niji Tugar, Lewamzin, Kanda Sibe, Jorar, Marie Mintam, Dungai Tisere, Dozokula, Fuji Dalze, Yala Tuju, Yambenson, Rudar Chedro, Nyomo Nilo, Lady Jato, Roseji, Marie Muse, Dungai Nyogo, Shinyi Jose, Radinam, Dene Sajin, Saju Tase, Yende Lido, Jasa Turgu, Juda Juda, Juni Yende, Dalu Mise, Jameyala Du. Then from the Manjushri's heart, many mantra rosaries, from the silver D, mantra rosaries issues out and absorbs to your heart with the silver letter D in your center, in your heart. And you receive all the blessings. With that you repeat after me the mantra 21 times. Ninga dikwa bala timbe ju shinge la mene nga di jendo le ni shutaji tu omara batana de omara batana de omara batana de omara batana de omara bat omara batana de omara batana de omara batana de omara batana de omara bat omara batana de 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 omara omara batana de omara batana de omara batana Omara Bhajanadi. So this we have to do 3 times. So this second time. Now the third time, again you make the request to bestow the wisdom. Dingi jambala mugi shibi kengi tuju kun tukusun tuji shinge labdu so nyambe dijen de la sumsu teden kwegi Kerabe sirki Talu Timu Mimba Rapsane Kata Tenju Shunlu Tawayi Lodu Bove Nawa Taduso Teden Chuji Kerabe sirki Talu Timu Mimba Rapsane Kata Tenju Shunlu Tawayi Lodu Bove Nawa Taduso Tenden Chuji Kerabe sirki Talu Timu Mimba Rapsane Kata Tenju Shunlu Tawayi Lodu Bove Nawa Taduso. Then you vaguely remember Manjushri, and then from the Manjushri's heart, the praise and mantra, along with the light rays issues out and came right on top of your head, goes down and fills all your body, and then you receive the wisdoms. So with that you repeat after me these lines. Keraman jamba shishi chanyi barati da puti timba tenzam tu tunji jambe ki tukane toba ngatan chiba sirki nambar chung keraman ki chiwane marshu lodu fisun sabo kyuwa samne di jende kange lodu tinyi tinda nidar nanda rapsawe shinyi tungu shishin sikshir nigi tukar Lewamzi, Kanda Sibe, Tara, Mari Mintum, Dunga Chisri, Rozokola, Fuji Dalse, Yala Tuju, Yandeson, Rudar Chedro, Nyuwa Nilo, Lady Jato, Rozaji, Mari Minse, Dunga Nyugu, Shinyi Jose, Radinam, Dene Tachi, Saju Tarse, Yende Luzo, Jase Turku, Juda Juda, Juni Gende, Dalu Mise, Jambaya Ladu, Hangi Lodu, Demi Jinda, Nida Namda, Rapsave, Chinin Tungu, Sishin Sichir, Niji Tugar, Lewamzin, Handa Sibe, Tueral, Marie Muntum, Dunga Chisere, Dozo Guna, Fuji Darze, Yela Tuju, Yanden Song, Buddha Chedo, Nyomo Nilo, Lady Jado, Rodeji, Marie Munse, Dunga Nyugu, Shinji Jose, Radinam, Dene Taji, Sanji Taji, Yene Lizo, Gasa Toruku, Chuda Chuda, Juni Yende, Daru Minse, Jambeya Radu, Kangi Chinglodu, Jimni Tita, Nida Namda, Rapsave, Shinji Tungu, Shishin Sijir, Niji Tugar, Lewamzin, Handa Sibe, Tueral, Marie Muntum, Dunga Chisiri, Dozo Guna, Fuji Darze, Yala Tuju, Yanden Song, Dudar Shedro, Nyomo Nilong, Leji Jado, Rozijin, Marie Minse, Dunga Nyugu, Shinji Jede, Radinam, Dene Taji, Saju Tasu, Yende Lizo, Jasa Tugu, Chuda Chuda, Zhongyi Jende, Dalu Minse, Jambe Yala Du. And then from the Manjushri's heart, see the silver letter D. From this many mantras issues out, mantra rosary issues out, and absorb to your heart. With the seed syllable letter D in the center, absorb to this and you receive all the blessings. And with that, you repeat after me, mantra 21 times. Di juzu mituya di le nganden chung chiranam ji ninga di bala timbe ju chingi lawar mene nga di jendu le ni judu. Om arabata nadi, om arabata. Om arabata nadi, om arabata nadi, om arabata nadi, om arabata nadi, om arabata. Omara Badanade, Omara Badanade, Omara Badanade, Omara Badanade, Omara Badanade. So with this we completed the 3 times. Now that you offer the flowers to the Manjushri, the foods in the front in the mandala here, so that you request to bestow the blessings. Tarji Jambaya la meta poor mene dijen du chomden dagi sulaji tala goar zeduso chomden dagi sulaji tala goar zeduso chomden dagi sulaji tala goar zeduso. Then Jambe and the Manjushri hold the flower and put it on your head. Dunji Jambe and Gishagi Medo the Charanamji Godo the Shabe Mabadu Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Singelo, Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Singelo, Jumden Dilla Jumden Dilla Singelo, Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Singelo. Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Singelo, Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Singelo, Jumden Dilla Salaji, Jumden Dilla Singelo. Jijin Jamaya and Jisila Maluba, Sobe Meva, so you did that you received the Manjushri's all the blessings. Now in front of Manjushri, that you receive the Manjushri's praise, Kalamas, blessings, So with this virtuous merit that we gain, that we dedicate to all sentient beings to attain the enlightenment. So with that, you repeat after me these lines. 중화이 여다기 강사바 대교 탐지기 대시시라 토바르쇼. So we did that, we completed the initiation. Now the conclusion part is the promise to hold the vows and samayas that you have received during this time. And then for mental offering for Thanksgiving, and then offering yourself as a service, and then with that concludes. 내가 대다도 솔직히 캐나베 탐지 수냐베 권는 지진도 조치들 가자바 대다 탐지 나기지 조치들 가자바 대다 탐지 나기지 조치들 가자바 대다 탐지 나기지 대단히 지나서면 레고타고 끝이 따라주는데 미대면대시 부어죠.
마셔부미야호 시여수다파 원진세지사시 옴바셔레케야호 지자이 고유게
샤르바모로 잠모레 노마라제 잔잔레 이마노 본주 본주사바 마사바 무슨선예 담제제고 소매 반대 라마 담베 셴안에 제나선보 레브라 토베 카트 다라지 운도 투제노에 된다시 신의 진예 남도수
Remember the Maxulur Jalova, Chilens upon the Chashin, Sierra Loncha to Sonia Bacon, and DJ to Tane someday, Tatendo, Chelatane, Bulana, Keji Lomar, Soata, Chayjane, Jaduso, Tane someday, Tatendo, Chelatane, Bulana, Keji Lomar. Suwada, Chayjane, Jaduso, Tenezamde, Dadendo, Cheladane, Bulana, Chejiloma, Suwada, Chayjane, Jaduso. So with this we completed the initiation according to the Kriya Tantra. Kriya Tantra has no visualization to the oneself as deity. Just deity is in front of you. And you just remember as a deity, but not in full visualization. Then you request. So according to that, we receive the initiation. And after doing this, that it is important to recite this praise, Hangloma. It is in English also available. So as many times as possible, if you could accumulate, it's a great blessing. And then also to accumulate the mantra Om Arapatanati. This is very important because Arapatanati means ripening of the wisdom. The meaning is Om Arapatanati. The meaning we translated, it means a ripening of the wisdom. The wisdom which we all have, that because we as everybody has the Buddha nature, so we all have the seed of the wisdom, but through ripening ripening, and then that we gain the wisdom. For that So you recite this mantra, you accumulate this mantra as many times as possible. And if we have a special place that we can accumulate, and then it's a great merit for everybody, and it will also pacify all the obstacles, especially nowadays throughout the world we are facing with the pandemic situation, that so many people lost their lives and so many people are suffering and so many people are also affected with the economically, work-wise and everywhere. So many different kinds of problems that we are facing now. So this will also pacify by reciting this mantra, because this mantra is very powerful and great blessing. So if you could accumulate it, we individually accumulate and then put it in all together and dedicate to all sentient beings in general, and particularly those who are affected with this kind of problems that we are facing now. And then also it will increase your own wisdom. When you have the wisdom, then you can comprehend the profound meanings of the teachings, Dharma. And when you can understand the Dharma, you can practice, you can put it into practice. When you could practice, then you will be able to succeed on the path, which will fulfill your own wish as well as wishes of the countless sentient beings. So with that, we completed the initiation. Ti kang jayamba kanglama tabi jana chagyu rangang lu da sembe angshin yu don ja jumbo za bo ju so nam de tam je chanam bam je de je ga na jamba ba
Jindra Jimba Nagundo Sambo Teta Kunje Jeso Nalo Jenyawa Nida Damje Ramdo Dusuma Shebe Nyawa Damje Jengo Kanla Chondonga Taje Nyewe Zawa Neje Nya Sambo Jeje Ramdo Ngora Nye Janjo Jove Jawa Chenyo Ba Jendo Nyazo Yos Kandre Jende Demba Sanje Ba Saja Ba Ye Demba Ye Nyuro Je Kanje Beje Dewa Doje Demba Le Saje Jose Dura Yinje Meja She Kunja Chele Namba Nyamba
Our sincerest thanks and heartfelt appreciation to His Holiness the Sakya Trichen for bestowing upon us this profound transmission of the Kanglama, praise to Manjushri. Also, heartfelt thanks to all of the Dharma centers, translators, and technology experts around the world that have made it possible for us to receive this profound blessing in so many different languages right in our own homes. Having been fortunate enough to receive this transmission, now, according to His Holiness Vajra advice, it's our responsibility to study and then practice it. In a short time from now, we will receive a detailed explanation of the praise from His Holiness the Sakya Trichen Rinpoche. And after that, the sadhana for practice is posted on the Tsechen Kunchabling website in English and in the various languages on the sites of the various different translators who brought you this simultaneous interpretation. We hope that everyone will join. Also on the homepage is a prayer tracker where, as His Holiness has advised us, we can post all the recitations that we do. His Holiness has encouraged us to recite as many as possible, dedicating the merit to all sentient beings that they may overcome their suffering. And as His Holiness's disciples, we also dedicate the merit to His Holiness the Sakya Trichen and His Holiness the Sakya Trechen's long lives and excellent health. We will conclude our accumulation count from all the worldwide students in 2 weeks, and we will offer the total number of our recitations to our precious gurus in 2 weeks. You can also see the number of recitations that is accumulating by checking the prayer tracker on the Trichen Traveling website. Again, heartfelt thanks to His Holiness the Sakya Trichen for this profound blessing today. And thank you all, everyone around the world, for joining. Today's event is now auspiciously complete, and we will see you in just a short time for His Holiness the Sakya Trichen's explanation of this praise. Thank you.